Hello and welcome to round 4 of Retro Racer. So this weekend it is round 4 and we've had our heat yesterday on Saturday, which you don't normally see. And let's say we were slow. Very slow. We've had problems all day just by my driving or wrong setup, went wrong way or something like that. So we've made looking at the data last night and we've changed a lot of things on the setup. So hopefully for the warm up we'll see it'll be good. So see you then. So now we're just starting the warm up and everything felt fine. Well, definitely now, just as this kart not started with such a relief. So now we're just going to see making a couple moves here, just seeing what the kart would feel like for the first session of the day. So it was very warm. Oh my god, I almost crashed into someone there. So now a bit of a half-hearted move there, almost crashed into the side of Cosmo. But now this is going to be a bit, not very good kart sound noises. So now I'm just trundling back to the pit. Now I'm just going to look over at the engine, see what's broken or something. And it's just the ignition cable that was loose. So I had just enough power to get back to the pits. Alright then guys, so for the warm-up, let's say it did not go great. It was good when the car actually managed to work, but on my last lap I only missed about half a lap. But my ignition cable, it's like, it's stretched, like, if you get a phone charged and you like pull it and it gets a bit stretchy where it can snap, it just stretched too far, and then I had enough power to get it back, but it was like so yeah, so we just about managed to get it back. So now starting heat 1. It was Saturday evening, about just before 5 o'clock. So now I'm going to see how it goes. So we're just about to get ready to go. So now, we're just bump starting and it hits the ground and it goes alright, not the best in the world, not the worst. So at least it starts, there's no way to do that. So yeah. So now we're just catching up to the end of the pack as we're starting right near the back. But the car ahead of us, apparently the fuel weren't going in the engine or so. It was something a bit like that, so with fuel. I'm not sure what, because that was what I'm just going off what people said. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're having issues. Now I lose all my momentum. But now I see a red light, I restart, and then I slam the brake. But it actually goes green as they redid the driver's briefing, so we didn't know that it was going back to green. So now we're just starting, and now we're going to see what we can do. So now we've already made a position. Now we're going to catch up. Now it's going to be caught up here. Now we're just going to round, see what we can do. So now we'll go up the inside of Seth there on the inside. Now we're just catching up to the pack. Now Eric's right there, and now we've got to switch back and just getting enough of an overlap to overtake. So now Tom Marshall does a bit of a move in and helping us get past Jensen easily there. So now we're in the slipstream of Tom, seeing what we can do. The slipstream really helps this so much. You just get that extra tenth down every straight. Now we're seeing where we're quicker than Tom, or when he's quicker than us. So now I'm going to see what we can do. Now we just went on about a lap and a bit, so we're not really gained much, but now we're going to see what we can do, hopefully. We definitely gained quite a lot on that corner there, just having a bit of a lift off slightly bit later. Now we have the slipstream to help us. Now we're going to set ourselves up. So now we have a bit of a more switchbacky move. So now we're just in the slipstream seeing what we can do. Now we go right up the inside of Tom there, just getting him out of the way, and he's done his work that we wanted him to do. Now we're going for my own work. Now we're just slightly catching up to Ollie Bulkhead. Oh, there's a yellow flag, I don't know what that's for. It's been about a week, so I don't know what much happened. So now we're just having a bit of a lift off, seeing what here. So I'm going to see where we can catch up to Ollie and where he's gaining on us. So we did gain quite a bit in the initial part of the dog leg, but we've always felt, oh no, that bit of a toe there helping us a lot. I just felt like all weekend we were just lacking a bit through the dog leg with a bit weaker power. We sort of fixed it for the final, but yeah, I'll tell you how it goes. So now we're just catching up and seeing what we can do. Now we go right up the inside, chucking it in, and he has to turn out the corner there, and we just get to the apex first and dictate the line. So now we've got quite a bit of a gap to catch up to, so we're going to see what we can do. Now on the last lap, now apparently they're engine C's, now we're catching up to Tom here, so I'm going to see what we can do. We'll go down the inside, but we just don't have enough of an overlap and then get the worst exit because we couldn't maximise on it. So now we're just going to see what we can do. Now we're going to go right behind him and now we're going to see what we can do. Now we're losing so much chances as it just hit the last lap. So yeah, it's just really annoying. So now we went from P16 to P6 in that race. So for heat 1 now we've just managed to P6 at the end, which if we didn't get held up at the start and lost about a second and a half around, maybe, I'm not sure, it's been about 3 days since I looked at it, but it's around a second and a half I've been told, or when I last looked. So yeah, I could, if I didn't get held up by that, I could maybe been with the top 5 pack potentially. I don't know much, but yeah, it was just quite annoying with that bit as I just got held up. But still, we just had no real pace out of nowhere. Like, we're just a bit lost. So yeah, we spent all night because it was Saturday just looking at all the data and trying to find bits to set up everything. So yeah, we found a couple attempts in the setup. So now starting heat 2 on Sunday morning, and let's say this is where the goodness starts to end. So now we're just getting all right start, just about managed to bump start it properly. So now we're just about going out, and now we're going out the last corner, and now let's see what we can do. So now we have a pretty bad start, just getting slightly held up here. So now we go around the outside and almost go straight flying over the grass and barely managing to keep it on the track. So we'll see what we can do now as we've gone to the back of Seth, and I think he has some problems here because he looked like he was lacking a bit of power. So they're making a bit of contact there, yeah, not my proudest moment, but now we're going to see what we can do. You see how I probably think that Seth has a problem there by how much we gain on him straight in one moment. And now we're going to see what we can do is now go straight down the inside here. So now we have a massive gap to catch up to the backers. So now we're slowly catching up to Tom Marshall ahead. Oh, again. The ignition cable decided to snap this time instead of just being a bit stretched. So now we park it in depression, and now we have to get out and just drag it off in the worst feeling ever. Now for heat 2, it's Sunday morning, just after the warm-up, and we're hoping we fix this ignition problem. Let's say that didn't go very well. So we were starting and we got held up again a little bit at the start, and then we got up to about, I think it was P5. And I was catching Tom, Marshall, the 65. We're just, about a couple temps a lap, and then the ignition cable, guess what? Snapped. It didn't stretch. We couldn't get it back. I pulled off at the side. The quickest call on the track, but it just snapped completely, and then we were just like, yeah, because we just had ignition problems, and apparently at the end of the weekend we saw that the ignition was just a bit too weak for the cable, so that just kept causing it to, damage it and all something like that. So now, starting heat 3, and guess what? A beauty again of a start. Probably the best start we've had of the weekend so far, but that's probably when all the good stuff ends. So now we just see what we can do. Is now now we're going to start, and now we're getting information, and now we have me being a bit too far back, but now this actually sets us up quite well to go straight down to the inside, making the place into 4. So now we're thinking about the car ahead, Lelena ahead. So now we're going to see for a very aggressive move, but just a little bit far back with a bit of contact. So now doing half his defence on the 64 car behind. It is an absolute madman move. Now we had a switchback planned up, but the ignition snapped again. Now, heat 3. So we were starting in around P5. So yeah, we had a good start, and I got up to, I think it was about P4. I was almost made P3 with a bit of contact, and then I was just doing a half defence on P5 behind me, and they did a massive dive bomb on the inside, and then I had a switchback all planned up, and then guess what? The ignition wire again. Not very good. So, we're in the final now with P12 on the grid, so we're going to see how it goes. So, see you then. Now, for the final, we're starting down in a lonely P12. So now we barely started now because we changed the engine in about 10 minutes and the head weren't on with 5 minutes to go. So now we're just about managing to start. And now we fell back to the back of the grid by half a lap. And now I'm thinking about how to catch up to the back of the pack. Well, no, we'll manage to get in my formation, but if we don't make it into the position by post 8, I will have to start in the position where I end up managing to. Now I'm desperately just trying to drive through everyone like it's some F2 compared to F1 cars. Now we're going to see what we can do. Is now we're formation in behind Louis, which is where we originally started, thankfully. So now we're going to see how it goes. So now at the back of the pack, now Louis decides to not have the best of start, so we go around the outside, just bump drafting Tom. So now we get a good run, and now we go around the outside of the 64. Now we go see what we can do. As now Tom decides to go around the outside of Dev with some contact, making him go off and then end up spinning, and then his engine decided to seize half a lap later. So now we're going to see what we can do on Dev here, as he had a way better exit than us. Now in the final, since we changed the engine, it's like different engines, isn't it? It's a different gearing and all that. I just felt a little bit weaker through the dog leg. My engine felt like, I wouldn't say I was losing a lot of time, I just felt a little bit weaker. But now we have a massive slipstream on Dev, now going straight down the inside. So now, as I was telling about, I just felt a little bit weaker. So if I go in with a little too much speed, it starts to lose all my momentum and lose about 4 tenths. But when I get it just right, I'm about half a tenth off what I feel like the car should be at. So now it's an overtake there. Now we're just deciding to go and try and overtake Ollie Borg there, just to see what I can play my cards at, to see where he wants to. So now we're just planning, thinking about what we're going to do. But also I see Dev and Jack Scott behind from Scott Sport just come slowly quicker. But I'm thinking about if I'm not going to overtake Ollie there, because if I lose my momentum, I'm going to lose 3 positions in one. So I'm thinking a bit smarter here, because I know I'm a bit quicker than Tom, slightly ahead by about a tenth or two. So now we're going to see what we can do. So I want to take my time, but also be quick and aggressive. So we decide bump drafting Ollie Borg into turn 1 now, to see what we can do. So now we're just bump drafting him into there, seeing what we can do. Now we're thinking about, this is our opportunity. So I see Dev and Jack Scott just get slightly closer every couple of corners. So I now decide to go, it's now or never, and I risk my whole race going down the inside of the first corner, one of the quickest corners on the track, and then get a warning for it, for advantage by contact. Luckily it weren't a penalty, which I was quite lucky with. So now we're thinking about Tom ahead. Now seeing about where we're stronger and he's weaker, and then where he's stronger and I'm weaker. It's definitely the dog leg where I have the most problems, which I never want to see that dog leg again, because we've had so many issues there this weekend. So now we go forward a bit. Now we're going to see what we can do. Is now we've just catched up a little bit, but you see on the exit there, we just lose a little bit, but the slipstream helps us a bit. Now look at that slipstream there, just gaining us a lot of time. Now he runs a bit wide, but then there's a car on the side of the track, and I accidentally hit the curb and lose some of the momentum. I don't lose too much time to the carts behind. I didn't even know who was behind. I wasn't even focusing on who was behind. I was only keeping my eyes forward. So now we've went about a lap later. Now I'm just slowly catching up to Tom there, and now the slipstream is helping us. And now I do a fake dummy to the left. Now he runs quite wide, and I accidentally hit the curb, losing my momentum a bit, but it doesn't end up too bad as he runs a bit wide. So now we do a fake move to the inside to try and get his eyes off him. Now we're thinking about here, so now he runs a little bit wide. Now we're thinking about what can we do, what can we not do. So now on the exit of this corner, I just have a little glance over my shoulder. I'm seeing that they're gaining on me. I'm getting held up and costing my race. Now we're thinking about where to go. Now we have a full switchback planned, and now we get an amazing switchback and a great run on the exit. So now we've got into P3, and now this is everything's playing into our hands. But I don't realise it yet, but it's coming. Jack Scott from Scott Sport has all the cards aligned to get straight past me. So now I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I don't want to defend too much, as he will get amazing switchback. What happened to Tom just so I want to be careful but aggressive. So I know P3's in my hand. It's been a horrible weekend, so I'm going to just see what I can do. So now we just go into the inside here. Got long sides on the outside there. Now I'm going to see what we can do. Now try and have a good run on the exit. Trying to not compromise all my exit in one, because I still want my exit speed. So now we're just defending everywhere we can. Now heading on to the last lap. This is now we're going to see what we can do. Now I don't know it yet, but there's a cart that spun at the dog leg, which is probably the best thing that I saw at the dog leg there. Oh, I've had a bit of oversteer there, costing me about a tenth. So now I'm just white lining it everywhere until I see the yellow flag at the dog leg as the cart spun around. Now I'm deliberately going to slow down a bit more, just to actually give me some momentum advantage going for the rest of the lap. So now this is probably the last overtaking opportunity. Is into the next braking zone after this corner, and then that's it. Now where's Jack? He's not too far behind, but it's safe. Now we go for it. Normally Jack doesn't go for a dive bomb, and now we have P3 safe in our hands. So we went from P12 to P3 in the final. Now that final, my word, that was quite, I'd say, probably the best I've had since Landau. I did get some luck in it, and also me just fixing the problems we had yesterday. So yeah, I'd call it a good drive, my best since Landau last year, I'd say. So I had a really good start, and I'm normally a bit more careful, but I just had to give it the extra nudge just to get through. And then now we've just kept going, and then by the end I had Jack Scott from Scott Sport behind me, who had a bit of a worse start, I was told, and then he just had caught up. He was quicker by about a tenth or so, two. But that slipstream at Rissington's are massive, so he had a slipstream advantage, a bit quicker. So Jack had all the cards aligned, but then luckily into the dogleg, which I hate the dogleg, worst corner I've ever raced on in my life, for obvious reasons. So then we just had a kart spin or something like that, and then I just deliberately slew down a little bit more, because I could tell through the dogleg my power was just a little bit weaker. So if I go in a bit too hot, I'm going to lose a lot more, because it just felt a tiny bit too weak for my liking. So if I went in a bit aggressive, I'd have lost so much momentum. So I had to really be careful about that. And I just managed to keep P3 on the line. So it's probably been one of my worst weekends, which turned into a recovery drive, which I have lost a lot of points in Retro Championship. But there's no drop round as well. So people that have missed a round or something, I'm pretty sure I'm still second. Seb dried away. So yeah, I'm pretty sure with P2. Well, definitely by less points. So yeah, we're going to see how it's going to happen now. So now we were at Rara with access karting again. Finally, after about 8-9 weeks of no access since the O-Plate Elite got cancelled. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. So thanks for watching and see you later. Bye.